So Google just released a bunch of new features in Gemini, and I actually have covered some of the features in my previous videos. You can check it out. But today I want to focus your attention into the canvas mode in Gemini. So basically this is a window that will appear on the right side of the screen when you're using Gemini, and it can be used to provide a document or a code. And of course, you can also use it to preview the website or the application that Gemini has created for you, so you can see it in real time. So if there is an improvement or there is something that you want to change, you can do it directly. I think that's pretty amazing, and that's basically why Google is implementing Canvas into Gemini, is to help people, everyday people, to generate maybe a simple application or maybe a document with this AI tool. But this is not the only one, because Claude also has something similar to Canvas, and they call it artifacts. And ChatGPT, I think just a few months ago, launched Canvas into its web interface. So now we have the opportunity to try these three popular AI chatbots when it comes to coding. Now, actually, if you are a developer that are using an AI coding tool like Windsurf or Cursor, you probably know that these AI models are available in a lot of popular AI code editors, and you can probably already tell how they perform. But I just want to know how good they are in the web interface, because usually these AIs are fine-tuned for general use case, so they're not exactly good at coding, but they can code. So let's compare them, and I have prepared some tests, and later I'm going to give them some score between 1 to 3. 1 is the lowest and 3 is the highest, and then later we can sum them up, and then you can tell which AI models is the best for coding. All right, I have prepared the prompt, and this is the prompt number 1. Basically, I just want to create a simple link tree or bio link website, which I believe you have seen many times on Instagram or TikTok, and it's going to be for my YouTube channel. But I want the AI to visit my channel, and then I want it to understand what is the content that I created, so it can populate the website based on my content, so it can choose the right wording or the right description about my channel. Let's enable Canvas and send the message. Now I'm going to move on to Claude, and we'll do the same, so you don't have to wait for the loading time or AI writing the code. And let's do the same for ChatGPT. All right, now this is the creation from Gemini. I think it's not bad, but I just don't like the color here, because there are multiple colors in one page. This is not exactly a good design principle. If you're visiting any modern website, they usually pick 1 or 2 colors, and they basically use only these 2 colors on their design. But this website has so many colors, it's kind of confusing, and there is no uniformity in the design. But what I like is that Gemini is very quick when it comes to coding. It's just many times faster than ChatGPT or Claude. However, the downside is the design wasn't exactly interesting. Okay, let's move on to Claude, and you can see it's still generating the code, and this is the result. Okay, this also has the same problem as in Gemini. It has so many colors, which in my opinion doesn't look great. But if you just focus on the structure or on the whole design, I would say this one is a lot better. There are some shadow and then some tiny animation that will play when you hover the cursor above the buttons. And there is this icon as well. The icon is working, which I think is amazing, because a lot of times icon in this artifacts or canvas window doesn't work really well, because it requires some dependencies or some libraries that it needs to load. So it's amazing that they're actually visible and actually can be used here. All right, that's from Claude. Let's move on to ChatGPT. And yeah, so the way you interact with ChatGPT is a bit different. I guess I have to open Canvas first, and I'm going to ask it one more time. Please generate the website based on my previous message. Let's send that, and I have to wait again until ChatGPT is generating the website. Right. It's going to take quite some time, but let's go back to Gemini first. And yeah, I would say I still prefer the design from Claude compared to Gemini. Even though Gemini is not exactly bad, I could still use it, but definitely Claude is giving something that's a bit better. All right, it is still doing the code, maybe. I'm not so sure about it. Ready to use website, but I don't see anything. Okay, let's try it again. Let's edit the message and please make it into one file. I have to be specific here because there is a possibility it is separating the files like the HTML, the CSS, and also the JavaScript. That's why it cannot render the website. So let me click edit and I can preview the website. And well, okay, it's still creating the code. Sorry about that. Let's refresh the page, I guess. Let's click edit again and preview. It is still nothing. Oh, there you go. All right, so this is also quite interesting. Wow, I would say this is just a bit better. Yeah, I would say the design from ChatGPT is better. Personally, for me, it's a bit better, but of course, you could have a different opinion about it. Now, I would say I'm going to score ChatGPT 3 and then Claude 2 and then Gemini 1. Now let's move on to the next test, which is creating a simple Pong game that I think you have seen or maybe you have played the game before. It's a classic game. And I want to see if these AIs can create that game and make it playable on the browser. Okay, check your internet. What is going on here? My internet is fine. There is no problem. Okay, let's try it again. Definitely there's something wrong with it. Okay, let me refresh the page. Maybe there's something wrong with my internet, but that should not be a problem. Oh, there you go. Has created the game. And this is the game. Is it? Because I couldn't see anything here. I couldn't access the button. I believe the button is down there, but I couldn't scroll down. All right. Hey Gemini, I couldn't access the button. Can you make it to be in the center? One revision. Oh, by the way, I was using a tool called Flow Whisper, which I have covered on my channel. So I can basically just say something and it will be transcribed into text. Well, it's still not here. Let's ask it again. Can you rewrite the entire game? Okay, now we have to wait again. Because this is definitely not working and this doesn't look good for Gemini. Still the same, so the game is definitely not playable. I couldn't do anything here. But let's move on to Claude and let's play the game. Alright, I couldn't see the other player, the computer, but definitely playable. I can use my cursor to play the game. And there is a scoring system as well, so if I wasn't able to get the ball on the platform, the score will be added to the other player. Yeah, I think it's working. That's pretty amazing. Now let's go back to ChatGPT. And still there's something wrong. Let me refresh the page. I don't know what's going on. My internet is perfectly fine, but it wasn't able to create a game. Let me open Canvas and let's create again. Okay, I will try Gemini one more time and please generate the game one more time with a completely different coding. Let's go back to ChatGPT. It is still creating the game. Again, not very fast. Okay, there you go. Now let me play the game. I guess I have to press something, but the button is at the bottom. Yeah, I couldn't do anything here. I wish I could, or maybe I need to reduce, zoom out the screen. Okay. That's quite disappointing. I would say the game looks better. It feels better. Yeah, although I have to prompt the AI multiple times, but the game is definitely working. All right, so I think the game is working. Now I will try again. Oh, sorry, I will go back to ChatGPT and preview the result. So yeah, it is very much similar to Claude, I think, but I would say the result from Claude is slightly better. The way I feel the game, the ball, I mean the physics of the ball is much more realistic compared to ChatGPT. The ball in ChatGPT moves a lot slower and doesn't feel realistic at all. But I would say all these AI models were able to create the game. Now it's time for the scoring. I would say, assuming that there is no problem on Gemini, which I think in part because of my browser is zooming in the screen, that's why I couldn't see the button in the first place. I would say Gemini scores better here, and then Claude is number 2 and ChatGPT is number 1. All right, so all the AI models have the same score. Now it's time for the final test, which is creating a 3D game that can be controlled via keyboard. Let's send a message, and we'll do the same to Claude and of course on ChatGPT. Well, it is done. Wow, it's just a few seconds. I was wondering why there are some Chinese characters here. I have no idea why, but let's play the game. And there you go. There is no game at all. Please rewrite the entire game again. I will ask it one more time, and hopefully it is giving me a completely different game. In the meantime, let's move on to Claude, which is still creating the game. How about ChatGPT? Let's allow access to the internet. This is not really a racing game. I mean, I can move the block here. Doesn't look like a car, but I can move it. Can go forward, but the track ends right here. Yeah, this is the game that was created by ChatGPT. Usually 3D games are difficult to create by AI, especially if you want to play it directly in the browser. It's going to be very, very limited. Okay, let's ask it one more time. Can you rewrite the entire game again? So I'll giving the second chance for these AI tools or AI models. Wow, it's taking Claude forever to create the game. Let's go back to Gemini. And it is still the same. And even this is kind of confusing that you have the same button saying the same thing, but apparently function differently. So it doesn't work. Quite unfortunate. Okay, there you go. This is 3D game by Claude. And I couldn't play the game. I couldn't click anything here. I couldn't click anything really. But maybe I could try something else, like let's navigate to HTML render online. This is the website that I often use to render HTML on the internet. Let's see if it works on a different area. Nope, it still doesn't work, but it's almost there. I can see that there are some menus here. But unfortunately, I'm running out of messages until 7 p.m., so I couldn't do anything. And ChatGPT, well, nothing is functional. So surprisingly, I would say the score is 0 for all these AI models. Yeah, that's very surprising. I was expecting Gemini to be really bad at coding, but apparently, if you compare Gemini with other popular AI tools, they kinda look the same. So, what do you think about this? Do you think Gemini is bad, or every AI models are just bad at coding? Let me know your thought in the comment below. And if you find this video to be interesting, or if you want to see more amazing AI tools in the future, then consider subscribing to this channel, because I will definitely make more videos about AI in my future videos. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you around.